Alright, hello, I'm drawing today. So I've got two different pictures that I've worked on previously, and then I've got this blank canvas right now, in case I want to work on anything else, which I have a hunch I will be doing. So the previous two I've worked on quite a bit since you've last seen them. This is the one that I just finished lining it. Well, now it's colored and shaded, and this is the one where I was in the middle of lining it, and then I colored and shaded it last time, and I went back and made a few more edits. So I guess let's take a look at them. So this is the one that I worked on a long time ago. It's been quite a while by now. It looks pretty different than it did when it was just lined, doesn't it? I ended up splitting up the lines into their own separate layers because I want to be able to, since this is going to be for the song release, these need to be able to pan, and if they can't be moved, if I can't move the characters, then it's not gonna look good. It's not going to move at all. It's going to be very static. So this way I've allowed myself a little more motion. I honestly think it looks really good. I was having some trouble picking between smooth, like crispy shading like this or like well blended, but I ended up picking it crispy. It just looks really cool. So that's what I ended up doing for that one. And then the one that I worked on last time I will show you soon. Hello! So this is the one that I worked on last time, and I've added quite a bit of shading since then, and it looks pretty, I wouldn't say it's vibrant, but it definitely, it's got the amount of contrast I wanted. I wanted it to be light enough to be sort of dreamy, but enough contrast that it still has shading, and I think it's met that pretty well. Also, you'll notice there's quite a strong yellow hue, and this is what it would look like under true color. It's actually pretty bright that way, and you'll notice that there's quite a bit more contrast than it seems there is under the colors that I used, which are very yellowy. I added bright highlights to it in certain places, and I actually added quite a bit of detail in the shadow, if I can zoom in a little. There are shadows in places that I didn't previously have them that are, I think even though it's really like small things, it makes it look a lot better. It just looks nice. Especially since a pixel, like 1 pixel to 1 pixel, it'll look like this, so it's quite a bit closer than when it's completely zoomed out. So this is about as close as you would normally zoom in on it before it starts distorting things, and I think it looks pretty good. Thank you. I really like shading. So I do my best. To make it pretty. I definitely spent more time shading than most people would be pleased to witness, so I did a lot of it afterwards. I revisited the picture and added a little more shading to it, adjusted some of the colors a little bit. I'm really happy with how it came out. It looks good. It looks really good. Right, so this is the one from a long time ago. And, see, I moved the people into their own separate layers, so now I can turn off the colors individually, which means I'll also be able to move them individually instead. So this is for different lighting, and the shading's actually done on the layers themselves. Sorry, that's like super bright. This is lighting that's also got shading mixed in it, but it looks, it's like blended grossly. It's really brown, and I wasn't super happy with that, so I like it. I like it both ways, but I think this way's a little better. However, for like dramatic effect, it's still really cool, so I'm not gonna delete it. I will definitely find use for it. So this is one picture, and that was with this color scheme and then that like bright pink background. And this is what I was able to make with it, which I like quite a bit. It looks pretty good. Okay. So you'll notice I've got like a blank canvas that I will also be using. And I'm thinking about for the actual video for the release, along with just this picture, I might have another one, maybe a few more, so that it's not, you know, monotonous. I would like to have a little more than one. I'm not gonna be as ambitious as I was with my previous one where I had like a bunch of pictures but they were all terrible. No, I'm not doing that this time. No, they're gonna be good this time. Yeah, so I want to think about other things that I had included in the song that aren't completely included in this drawing already. It's just a starting point for me. So as usual for me, I make a lot of references to like phones and technology. So I was thinking, for one of the scenes I can like zoom out of the previous picture and then it'll be like captured on, that's a really big phone if it's a phone. Oops. Guess somebody's got an Apple 317 Max Pro. Yeah, that's what it is. That's why it's so big. Okay. So it'll zoom out and the original picture will be at least captured in part here. And I think it would be pretty cool because as like this could move and you would see a different part of the original picture and it would not be too difficult. I think it's within my abilities and it would look really cool. So that's what I intend to attempt. I think it could be pretty neat. It could be pretty neat. So that's my idea. That's my idea. I think it'd be interesting. Ah, why'd my model freeze? How dare you? Froze for some reason. Okay. The reason I would do that is, see, if I had infinite resources and drawing ability, which I do not, I would have all kinds of different pictures and jump between them during different parts of the song, but I don't I don't have that ability. I'm really bad at making videos. So instead, I'm going to focus on making the art that I do have look good. Like, really good. So I don't do what I did last time, which was cobble together a video with halfway done drawings. It's not going to be like that this time. I want it to be really pretty. Yeah, I think it would look really neat, right? It'll be simple, but I think it'll be cool. So I'm going to try drawing a picture for it. Just simple picture. I want it to look cool. So that's what I'm going to do. I wonder if I can copy the palette off of this and paste it here. I can. So that's a start. That's a good start. That's important. Okay. Similarly, I'm gonna get this background color. horrendous. I'm sorry, it's really bright. That's part of why this looks so, like, cool. Just looks terrible. I wonder, actually, I'm really, really curious, so forgive me for the art crimes that I'm about to commit. But I want to know what this would look like if the color were instead like, if the color were, ooh, this red color instead. I want to know. But the problem is that I'm gonna change it to color, clip it, but it clips to the whole thing, and I only want it to clip to here. So, you know what? That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Give me a second. I have an idea. I really just want to know what this would look like. Woo! Okay. Then everything outside of here. Bye. Oh my gosh. So I no longer have the stand for my camera, so everything's a disaster. Okay, well the answer is this is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like with the red shading of the background color. Kinda crazy. But I also kinda like it. In like a crazy way. I'm sorry to my phone. It's being dropped. Art crimes are fun. Art crimes are fun. It's like time to do something weird. And then it is. And it's weird. But I like it. Okay, but we're not actually gonna do that. It's just a little too crazy. Just a little too saturated. Okay. That does look cool though. Oops. Alright. No, not this one. I'm not messing with this one today. Can I move it? No. Okay. That hurts my eyeballs. Copying this. Woo! Yay! Okay. Why am I copying this? Well, you see. It'll look like backgrounds in that same room. Yay! I think it'll be simple, but look kind of cool. Art crime. Weird palette. Okay, so if I draw it underneath, then the hand of this person in the roughest sketch sort of way. Hands. Just kidding. They'd end up looking like this, but if I draw it on top, they might stand out too much. It's hard to pick. It's really hard to pick. Well, it's fine. I think I'll draw it on top for now. If I decide it needs to go underneath later, then it will. The reason I'm thinking about doing it on top is, well, that does imply there's another light source in the room. We'll get there when we get there. My logic is small, and my want to draw is big. However, I'll basically just be drawing hands, which I don't like doing, but that's fine. It's important. Wow, now you really get to see me draw hands. This is silly, but I need to do this so that I have a screen shape that's in the same dimensions as the actual drawing. Or else this is going to be a painful experience. Do I want it centered? Do I? I guess it doesn't matter too much because I'll probably be moving it a lot, but yeah, you know what? I want it centered. That's fine. I want it centered. Beautiful. So I see it's not actually centered. One thing at a time then. No. I keep accidentally rotating it while I'm trying to shrink it, which is very annoying. But it's okay. Let's make it big, but like, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Nuh-uh. No rotating allowed. Very annoying. It's an old phone with like bezels. No, I rotated it. So annoying. Yeah, that could do. That could in fact work. Where? Okay, well, I guess first I need to sketch these hands. Yay! What if I sketch with just like the weirdest brush in the universe? Yeah, that should be weird. Adequately weird. Zoom out. What does a hand look like? I wouldn't know, because I'm a cat. So you must forgive me my hand drawing crimes. Held with violence. Hold phones with violence. If you do not hold the phone with violence, what is even the point? Okay, that's definitely not perfect. Canvas go wee, and I don't want it to. Yeah, it's not excellent. In my defense, I just have little paws. I cannot change this. No, wait, I do have hands. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for lying. I'm looking at my hands right now. Okay, well, I guess that's a possible hand. So let's see, when you're holding a phone, I'm gonna pick something up so that I have reference of how one holds things. Okay, forgive me, I'm holding a DVD writer. Okay, that's cool. How does one hold? Yeah, that's fine. Is it the same way as one would hold a phone? Now that is the real question. Hands are hard to draw. Hello? Hello? Do you want to see the progress that I made on the drawings from the last couple of streams? They actually look pretty good now. So the one that changed the most was the one from 2 months ago. Wow, it's been a long time. It looks really good now. It's like actually properly colored and shaded, and I'm quite happy with it. Yeah, I colored it, shaded it, gave it a very loose background. Everything is in its own like set of layers so that I can move them, because this is for the song release, so it needs to be movable. And then I actually did change the one from last time as well. I think it looks pretty good. I've added some more highlights, adjusted the contrast a little, and if you were curious what it would look like under natural lighting instead of yellow lighting, it looks like this. It's got much stronger contrast, and it's much brighter than you might have expected. But I personally like it more with the slightly warm yellow lighting. It might be a little duller, but I think the dreamlike effect is pretty strong this way, and I like it. So what I'm doing today is drawing, you'll notice that this is the same like perspective as this drawing, because I want this drawing to be able to fit here so we can like zoom to different parts of it on here. Since this is for the video and I'm not an animator, I have to be pretty careful with how I'm drawing them to start with, or else I'm going to give myself a hard time later, but I think it's going to look pretty cool. Yeah, I adjusted both of them quite a bit. So this is the one from last time. It looks good. No! Okay, and this is the one that I'm actually continuing, because this is the one for the song release. You might remember, since I mixed it and drew this quite a while ago, I've been preparing for a long time. Quite excited. But this is the one that's that this is going to go with. Yeah, it's really cool to mess with the lighting with divide filters. It's pretty neat. A close-up. You know what? You're right. Amogus. Let me just Amogus. Wow, that didn't do anything. That didn't work at all. Amogus. It's beautiful. It's absolutely, you're right, Amogus. But no, it's definitely not a close-up of a crewmate. Well, it is now, but that was definitely not the intent. I'm naming this because I like it. It will come back later. No, I was about to sketch hands. So it's gonna be a phone, like a really crappy looking phone, but it's fine. It's fine. So that on this is a screen. Just part of why it's got so much glare. On the screen, I'll be able to pan this picture. That's why they're in the same, yeah, same ratio. So that when I'm making the actual video, I can show different parts of it. Just think like, you know, like there's my person. Hehe, stabby. Okay. Yeah. So if the crewmate wasn't sus enough, there we go. That's our limit of sus for today. Just kidding. There's always more where that came from. Forgive me with my hand drawing. I'm just a cat. I'm just a creature. I do not know how to do this, but I will do my best. It's gonna be really rough. So, let's see. The back of the hand's gonna be, you know, behind it. And the front of the hand, the palm will be forward here. The thumb. Yeah, this is gonna be painful. I'm just a little creature. Why must I suffer? Okay. From the part of the back of the hand, as you can see here, we've got finger. Likewise, you can see part of another finger. Okay, so that's part of the hand, and now the thumb. Wow. part of this. Yay. It's not perfect, but it's kind of a hand. Okay. Drawing hands, I don't enjoy it, and yet that's what I decided to do. Fun. It's okay though. It's important. It must be done. What better time to do it than now? Okay. So there are other fingers, but they're all back here. You can't see them, so it's like whatever. So there is one hand. Yay! Sort of, except this actually, realistic, would be a little longer. So... okay. Yeah, fingers are like long, unless you have short stubby fingers, like me. Oh, my fingers aren't that short, they're just small, but still, you get the idea. Other finger. That looks like such an uncomfortable way to hold that. It's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, that's a hand. It's a hand now. Okay, well, I'm just gonna... Cursed content. This is like a whole tablet, isn't it? Hands too small. Well, good thing that it's just a sketch, because, yeah, hands are way too small. You know what? Eh. No, you don't. No, you don't. See, it's just like the hands are too small. The phone is too big. It's an entire tablet. That's probably a little better. That's a little better. No way. So annoying. I have to grab the corner or else it'll mess all kinds of stuff up. Gross and annoying to draw. Horrible. Okay, that's not that bad. That's fine. I'd say that's fine. So there's one. And this is just a sketch, so it's not staying blue. I promise. Promise it's not gonna stay blue. These aren't gonna stay copy-pasted either. How many people do you know, like, sit there with their hands perfectly symmetrical? Not very many, I bet. Okay, that's true. I'm an old person. I'm an old person. Phones are definitely that big now. Yeah, I have. I mean, I don't have one. My phone is small-ish. Definitely bigger than my previous one, but, you know. But no, those are gigantic. Those are gigantic. I mean, those are basically tablets. And I guess that's fine, but... it's fine, but it's a little scary. Yeah, I'm just like, if my phones get any bigger, I'll never be able to put them in a pocket. Like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to... If they don't go in my pocket, how am I supposed to carry it? And, like, I get that they're not heavy, but that's just even, like, stranger, right? Like, they're not heavy and they're, like, big, and they're glass. At the same time, the screens look absolutely amazing, so, you know. And I bet it's really convenient if you can't see. When do I feel like symmetry is needed in art? Let's see. I say it's something that you use sparingly, but it does depend on your style. Perfect symmetry is something that you use sparingly. I say use symmetry for guidelines and then break the rules as you're working. For example, if you're drawing a face, you want it to be relatively symmetrical, but a perfectly symmetrical face won't look natural at all, will it? People aren't perfectly symmetrical. So this is my personal opinion, but what I like to do is use a symmetry brush to, or symmetry setting, depending on what you're using. Now there is no symmetry setting in Metabang, so instead I'll use a symmetry brush, which is similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. I'll use a symmetry brush to draw the sketch, and then I will draw on top of the sketch without using symmetry, so they're not exactly the same, and I'll make changes as I decide that I need them. So symmetry isn't, I mean, there's plenty of symmetry in nature, but perfect symmetry is not something that you will find often. That's definitely unusual. I would say next to impossible, because even a small difference doesn't make it, I mean, it's not perfect anymore once there's a small difference. So, yeah, I'd say for some styles it's totally fine, but it's not something that I personally use that much. Exception. VTuber models. Most people want them perfectly symmetrical. Now, mine isn't. I did some things where it's not perfectly symmetrical. For example, my collar's not that perfectly symmetrical, like the charm on my collar, because I think it's cute. It's cuter this way. My ears aren't perfectly symmetrical either, the fluff inside of them, and the ears themselves are. The highlights in my eyes are not symmetrical. Do not use symmetry on your highlights. It means that the light's coming from two directions at once if you do that. I mean, I can't tell you not to, but I recommend not doing it. Yeah, I say it's a great tool. It's excellent, but I would say it's almost never necessary to have perfect symmetry. It is, however, great to have symmetry, like relatively symmetrical, because it gives you some sort of direction. But I guess you can tell I don't use perfect symmetry, so like the only symmetry here is if you were imagining the frame of the mirror being like the axis of symmetry, then it makes some sense, right? But it's not symmetrical because it's at a tilt. At the same time, you'll see that there's some rotational symmetry because this is about the same distance away from here, but this is from here, if that makes sense. So there's rotational symmetry even though it's not perfectly symmetrical. This one I basically said nah for symmetry. You'll notice that the hands are in similar positions, but they're not exactly the same. This elbow's further out, whereas this one's straight up against the body. The face is ideally symmetrical, but the hair is not. The hair is not split in the center. So it's just like, if you want it to be symmetrical, then make it symmetrical, but if you don't want it to be, it's not necessary. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you've got two light sources or it's directly in front of you, then symmetry in your shading is fine. Or directly behind you, I guess, to be fair. So if you've got two that are equally distant apart, or you've got one that's behind you or one that's directly in front of you, fine, by all means. But most of the time you've got one and it's slightly off to an angle, right? That's how it usually is. And as such, if you have highlights that are symmetrical, but like the rest of your art's shaded in one direction, it's not gonna look normal. It's gonna look a tiny bit odd. I mean, it's not gonna hurt it that much, but it'll probably look better if you did it without symmetry. And it doesn't take that much longer. It's just a personal opinion though, because I've seen plenty that are drawn with complete symmetry and they're still absolutely beautiful. And things like their use of color, that's what'll make the piece stand out. I think that's lovely. Now, with that aside, I have to actually deal with making these hands without just copying and pasting them. But you know, like, this is the hill I'm dying on. Okay, I'm just gonna check, but I'm pretty sure I used black line art here. I did. The reason that it's brown here is because of the lighting, which I think it looks really good that way, so it's staying that way. Okay. Let's see. I guess I'll start with the left hand. Why? Because I'm right-handed and I can stare at my left hand as I put the lines in place. That's the reason. Ah. Okay. Yeah. Wait, no, I'm doing black line art. I'm silly. I really don't need to bother with this. Let's go. Let's go. It's probably not gonna look much like line art. I'm probably gonna have to do this a few times to warm my hand up because it's not ready at all. That's why I scribbled. Okay. Wait, ah, that's horrible. What size line art did I use here? Quite a bit bigger, I would say. It's probably a little better. I should probably label this, but whatever. Whatever. Labeling's so boring, even though it's important. Alright! Ah! That's not a hand at all. Someone who doesn't know what they're doing. That is me. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's terrible. It's awful. Absolutely horrendous. Okay, it's not really that bad. It's not that bad. It's pretty bad. Catboys is a comic creator, by the way. So yeah, Catboys does have characters. Yeah, that's fair too. Thanks for being respectful about that. It is my stream. But, I mean, that is nice for asking. Yeah, Catboys is a comic creator, and a good one at that, in my opinion. So, yeah. Catboys has plenty of characters, and they're, like, really cool. So, like, the opposite of me. I have, like, no characters. I make new ones every single time, you know? Okay, this hand looks bad. Time to make another one. Let's see. So the line art's definitely bigger than that, but like how much bigger? I don't want to make it too big. Because that's something I do constantly. Like my line art's way too thick. Looks miserable. Chunky. Hello. Hello. I'm drawing today. I'm drawing a picture that's gonna go along with one that I worked on about 2 months ago, which is why it's in pretty unusual colors. It's nice to meet you. How's your day going? Actually, how's everybody's day going? Come on, guys. What's up? My day's going sleepy. Aside from drawing, yeah, I think that might be a bit too thick. Aside from drawing today, I had class, and honestly, that was about it. I ate some really, really good food. Was potato and chickpea curry, some fried bread. It was delicious. It was really good. Like, just amazing. I like spicy food a lot. It's just good. Top tier food. You know what? For some reason, I can't get this finger looking right. I think that's the problem. It might be because of the perspective, though, because that part of the finger is closer, but not by enough, right? You know what? Skewed perspective. Let's go. It is close enough, because I want it to be. Let's go. No way. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do some like really rough lines and then clean them up afterwards. It'll be a little faster, even if it's not perfect. Oh my goodness. So this is the back of the hand. This is where that little, you know, on your wrist, where like when you've got your hand at certain angles, you can just see like the side of it. That's what that is. Don't worry about it. Oh my gosh, wait, is that like, that doesn't sound great, right? Wasted time and probably not great for the car. Ah, wow, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would feel pretty upset with myself if I spent a bunch of time doing that. But don't worry about it. It's a good thing you checked, right? Now you won't have to do that again later. It's a real F in the chat. Can we get an F in the chat, boys? Let's get an F in the chat. All right. I might have to zoom in, because I'm leaning so far forward right now, it's kind of silly. I've realized if I'm leaning in a whole bunch, I probably just need to zoom. Because all I'm trying to do is see better. Alright. Let's get the front of the finger. Kind of important to have fronts of your fingers. Be really uncomfortable otherwise. Just be like, oh, I can't actually use a touchscreen because I have no pad of my finger. That wouldn't be very cool. I mean, it would definitely be unusual, but it would not be cool. Okay, well, that's probably better for the sake of your car, at least. If it wasn't necessary, I mean, unless it really is necessary, but okay. Okay, that's a little better. It's better than like, oh no, who knows what kind of junk ended up in there. That would not be very good. It's fine. No, I don't know a lot about cars. They're definitely not my forte. The driving is definitely not something I enjoy either, but they are important to take care of. Plus, some cars are cool, but I don't really know anything about them. I'm just like, oh, cool. It's a car. It goes vroom. Some cars go vroom loud. Some cars go vroom quiet-ish, but most cars are loud. Some cars are really loud. Some cars are broken. And some cars, like mine, do their absolute best. But it was raining recently, and Cat Boys and one of my friends and I were in the car, and I hydroplaned while trying to enter an interstate ramp, and I thought my life was over. I was so scared. Anyway, I'm fine. My car's fine. It ended up needing new tires after that, but it's fine. It's fine. It's gone through a lot. It does its absolute best. I believe in it. It gets me places safely every day. Almost every day. I didn't leave the house today. I mean, I am a house cat though. I guess that's not unusual. 'Cause, 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 'c Okay. Almost breaking your neck while drawing is basically just like... That's what I do every single time. I draw anything and I'm just like, oops, my neck. You know what? I only fear death when it's like imminent and in a way that would be painful and cause property destruction, and also my friend and my sister were with me. So I was full of fear. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to kill 3 people in my car. It did not happen. 3 people in my car were okay. Driving is scary. You know what? That's a fair question, though. That's a fair question. When I'm not driving, it's like whatever. I mean, like at any second, something weird could happen, and I'd just be like, dang, that sucks, I guess. But like when driving, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like fearful. Yeah, it's not my favorite. But it's really important, and it's absolutely impossible to get around here without driving. You just can't do it. Like, I don't even know how you would get from place to place. I don't think you could. Everything is way too far to walk. Or at least reasonably walk. And there are no sidewalks. And if you ride a bike, there aren't really bike lanes and you'll get killed. It's tragic, especially since cycling is so fun. Like, it's seriously fun, but you just can't safely do it on the, like, roads here. Now, trails, on the other hand, we got excellent trails. So mountain bikes, yes. However, I'm lazy, so I've only done this, like, twice. But worth it. Now, hiking, on the other hand, I've done quite a bit. This is perfect hiking. But I'm still a house cat, and so generally my choice of spending my day is sleeping. Lots of sleeping. And inside at that, are y'all like outdoor or indoor people? Or cats? Or dogs? Or eldritch abominations? Or... yeah, well, you get the idea. Outdoor or indoor? Because, I mean, I can say, like, I definitely like both, but indoor is my, like, relax and recharge area. My respawn point is my bed. My life is Minecraft. Alright. I'm just correcting, like, small things before I forget that it exists. So please forgive me for the super intense zoom. I think it's a bit important. Even though it's super annoying. This is starting to look okay. It's looking okay. It's looking alright. There's a hand. Sorta. It's sort of a hand. Oh my gosh. Relatable hours. Mosquitoes are just absolutely horrific. Parkour! So you're an outdoor person. This is lies. Capitalese is not an outdoor person. Nah. Yeah, mosquitoes are rough. Yeah. Not pleasant. I used to live near the beach, and let me tell you, saltwater mosquitoes, if you think that freshwater mosquitoes are bad, which they are, I promise, like they're bad. I don't like mosquitoes either. If you think that freshwater mosquitoes are bad, saltwater mosquitoes will make you stay inside all the time. They're horrible. They are bigger. They hurt more when they bite. They hurt when they bite. Can you imagine when you get bit by a mosquito, instead of like an irritating little bite, it hurts too. And I'm pretty sure that I am allergic to them. They're terrible. They're terrible. 0 of 10 recommendation for saltwater mosquitoes. Although 0 of 10 recommendation for any mosquitoes. Seriously, I can relate. That's part of the reason I'm an indoor person. Mosquitoes are evil. They're like gross. They can get you sick. They itch super bad. And once before I moved, I got bit 100 times because we were fishing over the ocean. And it was wonderful, by the way. It's awesome. It's really great. But since we were in shallow water and there were like reeds and things growing out of the water in some areas, yeah, there were mosquitoes and it was really nasty. It was gross. On the other hand, ocean, so you know, kind of cool. There were dolphins. We went fishing a lot when I was younger. It was a good time. Parkour seems like a very fun, difficult, dangerous, and great way to get yelled at form of transportation. Mosquitoes. Mosquitoes get me so, like, angry. They can, like, you can be having an awesome time and mosquitoes are like, nah, suffer. I don't like you. Or maybe it's because they like you too much, right? It's not cool. Whatever the reason, it's not cool. Okay. I'm gonna try drawing the right hand now. Ah. Let's go. I wonder if I should zoom out first or if I'm just gonna make it more difficult for myself by doing that. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Which mosquito experiment was that? Was that the one where they tried to have the male mosquitoes that would basically cause any offspring to, like, die immediately? Because I also wonder, like, it'd be so much better to just not have horrific mosquitoes everywhere. They're bad. They're bad. And sure, they have some sort of place in the ecosystem, but that place could easily be taken by something like mayflies, which, you know, don't bite people and spread disease, and essentially look the same as mosquitoes. And are probably very similar. I don't get it, and they're around at the same time of the year. Like, they're just superior. Yeah, I was wondering if that was the one. I couldn't remember where that took place, but now I know. All I can hope is that eventually it will be successful, because, oh man, it'd be a better world that way. The finger on this hand's bothering me. I'm going to adjust it real quick. Forgive me for my super zoom in and the leaning forward, because I'm silly. Okay, I think that'll do. I just want it to be, like, less sticky outy. More finger-y. Okay, I think that's pretty okay. That's pretty okay. So this is what it was like before, and this is what it's like now. I think that's much better. It's not a huge difference, but it's much better. Oh, they were released last year? Wow. I feel like I'm learning a lot about mosquitoes right now. An extra 2.4 million. That means for a short time there are going to be a whole bunch of them, but at least it's not the bitey ones. And if it's at all successful, Good. Mosquitoes get no thanks from me. They should be replaced by mayflies. Like, would there be any downside to them being replaced by mayflies? I just feel like that would be okay. Because they're around at the same time of year, they basically breed the same way. There are plenty of them, they're about the same size, so they should be just about as easy to catch. So I'm just like, I'm curious. Also, they don't spread diseases. And that's a pretty big plus. Okay, let's go other hand. Okay, somebody who is not me is in the bathroom. So, for their privacy, I will probably be muting relatively soon because dang. Extra 2.4 million. That's intense. Alright. Other hand, I'm procrastinating. I really don't like drawing hands. You can see I like drawing them so little that I drew scribbles and then made that into a hand. So here's our back of the hand. Whee! Wah! No, that's terrible. How could I? It's fine. It's fine. It's totally okay. I don't think it's cat boys. That's the worst part. I mean, unless it's cat boys. Oh my gosh. I mean, it could be, but I don't think so. Okay. It's a lumpy. Oh, you know what? Fingers are lumpy. It gets to stay lumpy. Oops, I can't see it at all. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is make this less visible. Yeah, there we go. It's a lot better. I'm having a tough time. I want it to be finger-shaped, but still look, you know, relatively cool. Fingers just don't look cool, though. They don't look cool. They look like fingers. Thank goodness it's not you. That'd be so embarrassing. I'd just be like, oops. Oops, my bad. It'd be like, yeah, you're bad. Whee! Alright, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, you know what? That's kind of a finger. No. No, it's so hard for me to draw this part of the screen without like actually setting my computer down. It's, let's just say I'm about as close to it as I can get without knocking things over. I'm struggling. Real struggle hours. Yeah, that's a lot better. Alright. Do I hear a cat meowing outside? Oh my gosh. I do. It's my neighbor's cat. Oh my goodness. I hope somebody lets him in. He sounds so pathetic. He's very sweet. But then he fights with my cat. It's fine. Wow, he's crying. He's crying. The poor old man's crying. I did not mean to rotate my screen. Okay. It looks lumpy. No lumpy allowed. Only smooth. Yes, this does go against exactly what I said earlier, where I said that fingers are lumpy, so it's fine. I understand that. However, However, I decided they're not that lumpy. Alright. Yeah, Dante's fine. That was, wow, good memory. No, Dante's not up here. Usually he is, but today he decided that he doesn't want to be, I guess. He's having fun. Yeah, he's probably, what do I think he's probably doing? Well, there's a cat tower that's not in my room, so he might be there. He likes to feel tall, but it's more likely that he found something to play with, and so he's messing around. He got another new toy today, and he loves it so much he's going crazy. I'm seriously impressed by your memory right now. Yeah, Dante is my cat. He's a little gremlin. He's very cute. But he's a gremlin. Hey, he is an indoor-only cat, because I said that there's no way to get around here except drive. As such, it's pretty dangerous for cats to be outdoor cats in this area. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not good. Like, it's not safe. And I personally don't... I think that if you have a cat, you should keep it inside, and if you don't keep it inside, it better be because it's a feral barn cat and it doesn't want to be inside. Because cats really should not be outside for many reasons, including but not limited to they eat the natural wildlife, they will get sick, people who leave them outside often forget about them or don't move with them and then abandon them. And if you're my neighbors, I end up taking care of your cat if they're an outside cat. So that's my thoughts on that. So my cat's an indoor cat. He does not go outside. Ooh, sorry, my model froze up because my camera. I just can't keep it angled right. I'm really... Cobalt struggle tweets. Okay. Now, I do think in some areas it's definitely more acceptable to have an outdoor cat, and I understand that barn cats are totally different. like you cannot bring them inside. Because they're basically feral little beasts. Still adorable, but like they are feral little beasts. They won't even be appreciative if you take them inside. Alright. Let's see. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely not beautiful, but it could be worse. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do now is add some like detail lines so I don't have to paint them all in, which is what I usually do. I'm just naming them so I don't lose my layers, but I can't stand when I name them wrong, it annoys me. Okay, time to shrink my brush quite a bit. Okay, let's see, where would we have some details for? Right here is a crease between the finger and the palm and the back of the hand. Let's see, where would it be? This. Yeah. Here we've got end in the finger. Okay. I usually don't do this with my lines. Well, I used to actually. I usually don't, but then I realized I haven't been liking how my lines are coming out, and it's because I'm using like one size. Catboy has pointed out that my lines are all basically the same size, and I'm only making like, you know, the outside lines and none of the details. And I'm like, oh, that's true. It's because I paint all the details in, but you know, it probably looks better with contour lines. So contour lines it will have today. Ideally, it will look quite a bit better. Yeah, okay. I'm starting to feel hungry. Again. In the middle of the night. It's fine though. Like, do any of you like eat nicely during the day and then like the second that you're up late, you're just like super hungry? It's time for like your 15th meal of the day. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give it a try. I hope it comes out looking nice, not super ugly. Low standards for happiness. If it's not super ugly, I will be pleased. Oh, I put everything on the same. Well, that's an easy fix, isn't it? Boom. Okay. Now they're in their proper places. Okay. Okay, I mean, it's not terrible. That's not that bad yet, so that's a good start. I do actually need layers of the hand that go behind the phone as well. Why? Because there are fingers behind the phone. And I'm not gonna draw them because I don't want to. But I do need to actually have this is a section where fingers will be. This is a section where the fingers will be. Therefore, that's a section where fingers will be. I need to actually make it a section. Okay. This is the back of the left hand. This will be the back of the right hand, because you are going to be able to see it just a tiny bit. Just a little. This is just so I can fill it in with a fill bucket. And easily make it a different color if I end up needing to. So there we go. Oh, where are the sketches? Let me turn those off as well. Woohoo! Yay! So those are our lines. I'm just gonna try using a fill bucket first, and if that does not work, then I'll get a new idea. It's fine. Okay. First things first. Let me pick a color that's actually here instead of doing terrible crimes. Okay. The reason I'm doing that is so that if I ever need to change the color of the line art, then I can do that without any trouble. Because now, like let's say I want to make it transparent. Well, now I can, and there's still the base color underneath it. That's why I'm doing that. Yeah, it's time for second din-din, third din-din, 15th din-din, 17th din-din. You know, that's what Dante would have if he had it his way. He'd have 50 din-dins, I think. He gets one din-din, but he swears he gets like 500. He makes it clear that that is his expectation. To have as many din-din as possible. Wait, no. Well, that was pretty easy. That was not bad. Okay. Yay! Now there's a back to it as well. Time to get the left hand. Yay. What if I just... Okay. Why is this not working? Okay, I do find it a bit strange that's not working, so... One second. We're just gonna do this. For some reason that's actually not working. Is there something wrong with the color for some reason? That should be working. I'm stupid. Protect Alpha was stuck on, and I just forgot about it. I was like, why is it not coloring anything? Why is nothing happening? It's okay. Yeah, Dante would definitely demand 50 din-dins and a supper. And a suffer. I'd be the one suffering. But so would his stomach if I let him have his way. So... What in the world? No. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now we got base colors. Hands that are, you know, kind of hands. Sorta. Well, it's definitely a start. And not a terrible one at that. And for the details, I can actually lessen that quite a bit. Yeah, you know what? 40% opacity, that's fine. And unless I can ever replicate it, which would be really sad. This is my luck. This is my luck indeed. There we go. It's true though. I always break something. The computer is not at fault. No. Imagine if I just like said that every time that like my program didn't work for a homework. I'd just be like, "Oh yeah, it's the computer's fault. I didn't break anything. It's a feature, not a bug." No. No, I definitely broke it. It's fine though. It's fine. Okay, well now I can lock alpha without having any problems. Yay. Alright. Yay. I just, okay. Yeah, it had some jagged edges that I was not a giant fan of. So we're good now. Okay. So what I usually do is I copy these, put a multiply layer on, pick color, but I didn't do that for these, so I don't know if I should do that here. I'll do that later. What I usually do is I copy the line art, pick a really bright color, set it to multiply, and then blur it slightly, so that you just get like this ever so slight like saturated color around the edges of the lines, and I think it looks kind of cool, but I didn't do that this time because it's like crispy. Yeah, it's not a bug, it's a feature. How could you ever insinuate that it was a bug? That's just preposterous. Okay. Let's see, is this the color that I used? Yeah, it is. So for the multiply layers, I'm just gonna do multiply for the shading. So this is how I did it originally. These are clipping layers, so they don't go outside the lines, basically. These look multiply, except what I actually did was I had them without anything, and then I drew in with a regular crisp pen where the shadows go. So I make sure that I'm matching this here, but the light's on. Since we're outside the mirror, the light's coming from this side, but it's backlit here, which is a little gross. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. We'll allow it to be backlit, except that it's really annoying to draw. Oops, I'm stupid. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so because it's backlit, instead of having like shadows that are why is this not doing anything now? That's just silly. Oh, because I'm drawing on the wrong layer. I didn't do that. You see nothing. It's gonna be one of those days. Instead of having drawing in the shadows, I'm gonna be drawing in the highlights instead. See, so I'm adding the highlights to it. I will correct them, but not yet. Yeah, crispy. Sharp edges. Relatively. Not very, but a little bit. I guess it's not really backlit in this, but instead drawn super far, like the shadows are super far off to the side. I think that's what I'll do. It's a little easier to draw. Plus it implies this person's standing at an angle, which is kind of cool. feature, you know what? A feature that I have is drawing on the wrong layer. That's a feature. It's not a feature. It's a bug. Actually, during one of my final presentations last semester, everything was working great, and then my professor decided to check our extra credit, and when he did that, like, the whole thing broke. And it's so weird. It's like he found one single example where the whole thing would break. Like, I swear, I thought I tested everything. My classmates thought they had tested everything. And then he found one thing where if you did it, it would break. And break, it did. And I was, like, really embarrassed because I'm standing in front of the classroom, and you know, this probably isn't a giant surprise, only a tiny bit of irony, but I get super nervous talking in front of people. The irony, right? And so I told him beforehand, so I get really nervous talking in front of people, and he's like, okay. I'm like, great. And then that happens, the whole thing just, like, breaks. The whole thing breaks. And he's like, so I found a new feature. And I was like, my life is over. It's fine. At least it wasn't like when running it normally. It was only when trying to attempt the, like, extra credit section. And it didn't break anything else during normal use. So it was removable. But it hurt. My ego. It hurt so bad. You have to add highlights to bioluminescence. You know what? We're gonna take a quick trip into drawing random things so that I can find out whether or not you add highlights to bioluminescence. Now, my instinct is that the answer is no, unless you choose to draw it that way. But it would be pretty neat. Yeah, I use divide layers for light sources, but add layers are definitely the way that most people do it. I just think the color comes out better if you use a divide layer. It makes a little more sense to me. I think that's more similar to how light works when you're picking limited colors, at least. I know add is actually how it works, but nobody's drawing with, like, their normal, natural colors. No, everybody's drawing with the colors they're seeing in their head. Therefore, a divide layer is going to work a little bit more dramatically. Anyway, we're going to get completely off topic and distracted and draw something that's glowy for fun. You know, what do you think? That sounds like fun? Well, we're going to start it with a black background then. Okay, this is my distraction folder. Wonderful. Okay, well, first off, technically, you could do it without using any layers like that. Anything could be drawn with enough practice and actually knowing how it works by, let's see, how am I gonna do this? Pick a really glowy color. Let's make it a little more green though. Let's see. Like, technically, you don't need any fancy layers for it. Right? No fancy layers necessary. Still, you know, it's still bright. Make it brighter, more green. Yeah, so you technically don't need any layers for it, but let's say we're doing the exact same thing and want to use an effects layer. Wait, first let me make this look like nice and glowy with the... Okay, I mean, I think that looks pretty cool. and you don't need effects layer. This is all on one normal layer. But let's say that I want to do an effects layer. I really want to. That's cool. You can. So I think you could probably do something like this, and then on top of it, oops, I accidentally did like an 8-bit layer. That was definitely not on purpose. Okay. I put it onto, so the thing about black is that effects like this don't really work, do they? Yeah, I mean, oh, an add layer does work on black, so I guess that's one reason to use it. That's pretty cool. That is really neat, actually. So I guess you could do it. It's definitely not the same color, but it does look really cool. Yeah, my professor found a feature, but it was definitely a bug. It was painful. Speaking of bug, these are fireflies now. Adding a different color inside for fun. Yeah. Looks pretty cool. See, you can do the exact same thing on a normal layer. So technically you don't need to use effects layers, but you could, and it honestly was super easy, so I guess that's one way to do it. But I wouldn't say that you need to put shading on it, because see, it is a light source. And as such, it's not going to look bright on different angles. That's the same reason that in the shadows here, I've got highlights that are not as bright, even though the highlights here are really bright. It just doesn't look natural if you have them really bright. Now, if I really wanted to make this more natural, then I would blur them out as well, because they wouldn't be as high contrast, but I don't want to, so they are the way they are. Am I supposed to follow your lead and sing it? I don't feel like it right now. I'd be so embarrassed. But yeah, it's always time for Owl City in this house. In this house, we like Owl City. Okay. Yeah, so on a completely normal layer without fancy effects, here we go. Here's green. Here's the outside green that's making it glowy. Here's a yellow green on the inside. A yellow. Green. Green. Now let's just do a light. Cool. It's definitely not as vibrant because it mixed with the black as I did it, but it's okay. We'll make it work. Ah, I see. These are very saturated colors. Which I just wasn't using. They're definitely not normal for me to use. I definitely use less saturated colors because they're easier on my eyes, but like, even I have to admit bright colors look really pretty. They're just pretty. I mean, it looks cool. And that's on a normal layer and it still looks really bright. So, no, you don't have to put shadows on bioluminescence because it is a light source. I would say if it's just slightly bright, like you could put shadows on it. But what I would say instead is, boy, I didn't mean to do that though. Okay, let's say instead you've got like a dull bioluminescent source, so like a firefly, and it's dull. This is your firefly butt. Okay. Instead of making some parts darker, I would just say make some parts lighter. The parts around it are lighter. right? So like it's a dull light source, but it's still a light source. I think that works. Oh, that was fun. That way, like, you can tell that the whole thing is shaped like this, but only some of it is very bright and some of it's quite dull. It looks really cool. Okay. It's enough distraction. It sure is a fun distraction, though. Okay. No, I didn't mean to click that. Okay, well that looks like a hand. Yeah, that does look like a hand. Time to get this one! Yay! Yay! Okay. Oops, I'm using a paint tool instead of a pen. I'm using a pen to keep it consistent with this. Usually I would use a paint tool. Mostly because I just like the texture, but also like crisp, neat looking shading is just so good. So I should probably try doing crisp shading more often. It's like I like it, but I'm too lazy to do it. But it's okay. I'll do it this time. Make myself proud. I noticed a mistake. Okay. Much better. Under control. Yeah, this'll work. Okay, it's a finger. It sure is a finger. Oops. Suddenly dumb hours. Forgot that I was on a multiply layer. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a hand. That sure is a hand. Let me get the fronts of the fingers real quick. Also, no, it's fine. It's whatever. I think I small-brained extra, and that there were lines there for there was some color there for a reason. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. It's okay, I'll just put some highlight there so it actually looks like it belongs there. It looked really weird to me for a second. Okay, so that's really, really basic, with just like multiply layers and then erasing some of the multiply layer. It looks relatively natural. And I do need to make the parts that go behind the hand darker as well. There we go. There we go. Nope. That's the opposite of what I want. Stop doing that. Cool. So now there are backs to the hands. The hands are actually colored. And let's see. I think that's not the color I want it to be, so I will correct it. Cool. Okay, sorry, I'm reading the chat. I didn't mean to miss that. I was getting really into adding highlights onto the actual hand. So, yeah, basically, if something's bioluminescent, the whole thing is a highlight, if you think about it. So like your base color, this is probably confusing because it's on black. So let's do one that's on gray instead. Okay, you've got something on gray. Now you've got let's make ourselves a little bug. It's just a little bug. It's a stupid looking bug, but it's okay because he's full of love. And he's bioluminescent. His butt's bioluminescent. Okay. So if he's a really bright bioluminescent bug, then the base color for that would be really bright. Yeah. If he is a really dull bioluminescent bug, then the base color for that would be quite dull. Right? So for a bright one, just think of the whole thing as being like a light bulb. If you look at a light bulb, you don't see shadows, do you? Instead, you're seeing like the center of it's the brightest because that's where the light's from. So if you think about it, think about where the brightest part is, and then add the brightest light in there. And the brightest light is white because it's got the most colors in there. And then if you want it to be warm, then you'll add yellow. And if you want it to be cool, then you'll add blue. I'm gonna add yellow. And I'm gonna use a brush. Like this. So like, since this one's really, really bright, just make the whole thing really bright. That's okay. You may make the whole thing really bright. But for the dull one, you might want to leave some parts not dull. So this is a really bright little guy. And you just think of the whole thing as a highlight. So you start with your base and you only get lighter from there. The whole thing is a highlight. As for the dark one, the dimmer one, don't make it super bright. Let's see, I'm gonna make it a little brighter. Right? In some parts. But I'm still gonna try to leave some of the dim stuff. I want to leave it visible. Since it is a duller one. Then you'll add light to it, but you won't get up to pure white because that's super, super bright. And this little guy just isn't bright enough for that. So he's also glowing, but like much less so. Also, you can really get a glow effect by like changing the color of things around it. Cause see how this one is quite dull actually, but if you were to put white next to it, it looks like it's shining super bright. So instead you're gonna put a duller color next to it. It's a shiny little guy. but much less shiny than his super bright white pure. See, there's a pure white in the center there. So that means it's super light. This is not super light. Now, I guess if you had another light source on it, if it were not the only light source, like say this one being super bright is shining on here, you would probably put some highlights on there, but it wouldn't really make much of a difference compared to the rest of it because it's already got light. But that's just a guess. I think you could honestly figure out pretty quickly by finding some reference photos. I just like, yeah. Yes, his little butt. I did in fact say it. Little critter. I mean, so instead of thinking of it as adding highlights, that entire thing is the highlight. It is light. The lighter it is, the more you can think of it that way. If you think of it less that way, then just make it less bright. But I wouldn't say that you put shadows on it. That's something that you would not do unless you've got really good reason to. Yeah, that's, it wouldn't be reflecting more light than it's producing. That is completely correct. If it would be reflecting more light than it's producing, then by all means. But if it wouldn't be, then don't put extra highlights on it because it's not necessary. Honestly, it's not going to make a difference even if you do because it's reflecting so much more light. Since it's putting out so much more light than it's actually reflecting. Yeah. Okay, that was fun. It was fun. I guess nails are shiny, so I'm gonna do a really, really small divide layer. Okay. Shiny. Okay, I didn't mean to use a paintbrush, but it's whatever. It's whatever. At this point, I'll just let it happen. So you'll notice the color that's not white is making it lighter, and that's because I'm using a divide layer right now. So divide works by taking, like basically taking away the color that you've got. It takes it away from the color that's underneath. For example, if I had this skin tone color, which I do, and then I put that skin tone color on top of it, it becomes white. It takes it away. That's how divide layers work. They're nice and shiny. Where? Yeah, you know what? It's fine. That's allowed because I'll let it be allowed. Let's go. I love drawing to dissonant sounds of my siblings screeching. I never know what it's about, but you know what? That's okay. I don't need to know. Oh no. No! Why does this keep happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? I see you sliding. No way. Nuh-uh. Okay. 1 second. Okay, that's much better. They're screeching, and I never know about what. That's okay. It's fine. I do not need to know. You know, curiosity killed the cat. That's just me all the time. I'm the cat. Why does this keep happening? I'm getting so annoyed. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have the stand for it. And as such, it just keeps sliding, and it's very annoying. Makes me quite upset. Definitely not a huge fan of the whole sliding and breaking thing. Not excellent. Yeah, I honestly don't even know if this is any better. Okay. It's fine. Make this really tight. Yeah. No, this is so annoying. Getting really annoying. Okay, give me 2 seconds as I readjust where literally everything on my desk is because I'm getting annoyed. Annoying. Like, why can't things just stay still for a change? Why must everything slide around and be disastrous? Okay, that should be a little better. Okay. No, it's not better. It's not better. Nothing's better. Everything's bad. Very annoying. There is nowhere that I can put anything. Okay. The worst possible setup, but it might be the one that I use. It's in the pencil holder on my desk. Yay. Well, at least it can't slide this way. You know? Not much room for it to slide. Yeah, I guess this is a bit better. Sorry, that was really getting on my nerves. That's a lot better. Okay. Where are places that this would be lighter? Right here. Right here. Right here, of course. Yeah, okay, that's quite a bit better. Ta-da! Hands. Yeah, they're like hands. And they're holding a dubiously shaped phone. But you can pretend it's phone shaped because you can't see the sharp corners, so that's a bonus. Did I forget to do my Duolingo today? It's a terrible question, but I might have. It is okay. It's fine. I was going to, I really was. If you're wondering how I've kept my streak despite missing it so many times, I had streak phrases so that I don't lose it, but it also doesn't add to it. It makes me so sad. I'm getting really close to 365 days. I'm almost there. But I'm having a sad time. Okay, but yeah, these are hands. These sure are hands. No. Nuh-uh. Yeah. Hands. And so like, it'll be here, and then I'll have some things that are able to move. Like this will be able to move, and this will be able to move. This can slide, and this can slide, and it'll be cool. And then it'll like be able to zoom out, and as it zooms out, it'll be here. I think that'd be kind of cool. That's the idea. Yeah, productive. Productive indeed. Why are people screaming? Yes, thankfully I had a streak freeze. Thankfully. Wordle. You know what? Maybe it's time for a Wordle break, and then I might be done for the day because I actually finished the drawing I planned on doing. I'm gonna do today's Wordle. And then I'm not going to say what it is in case anybody watching has not done it and actually wants to. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but I'm gonna try it. So I have Wordle open right now. Let's see. Okay. Well, I've got a letter in the right place, and 2 letters not in the right place, and then 2 letters that are not going to be used. I have an idea. No, that's not correct either, but now I have 3 letters in the right place, so that's cool. Now I've just gotta figure it out. I guess I can't get it in 2 guesses, huh? The fact that you got that in 2 guesses worries me. Why was that on your mind? That was fun though. Wow, they've got another game. Interesting. Spelling bee. This one is difficult. Ooh, I see. Okay, so it works by like, you have to have the center letter, and you can use the other letters around it. But you have to have the second letter. That's interesting. It's pretty hard. Yeah, that one's really tough. Yeah, no, it's fine if you don't care. However, it's really fun, and so if anybody else ends up watching, I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, why is that one on your mind? That's worrying. That's a bit concerning. Hey, I mean, this is the right time to give it a try, by the way, Bucky, even if you don't care about it. It is pretty fun, and it doesn't take very long. Yes, you should do it. Just so you get the joke, okay? You should totally do it. Give it a try. Yeah, I'm trying the other puzzle right now, and I kind of suck at it, which is fun. Interesting. This is much more difficult than I was expecting. I've gotten 5 so far. I know there are more than that. Yeah, it's a fun game though. It's fun. And it's just like, oh, I remember words. That's cool. I got 6 words. This is a different one though. This one isn't Wordle, this one's called Spelling Bee. It's fun though, but I'm really bad at it. Interesting, why can't I think of anything else? Aha! Ooh, okay, it's points. Points. I have 7 words, but I have 11 points. So that's kind of cool. Names don't count, by the way, as I'm finding out. Huh. I got another word? No. Points. It's difficult. Alright, since y'all can't see my screen, let me actually do something on screen now. Sorry. It's fun though. I'll try to get more words. But not yet. Honestly, this went just about as planned. Like, as a drawing, it exists. It's with the same palette as this, so they'll actually go together decently. It's got a few more details because it's up closer, I guess. I wonder, I think I should make the background a little less saturated, don't you think? Well, I think I should. This way it's like similar but less jarring, you know? And so like it'll be like zoom out and be like much less jarring. I think it'll look cool. Yeah, I think that's alright. That is okay. So this is... That's cool. Well, fuck you, are you doing Wordle? Are you? You better be. No, just kidding. You don't have to. However, it would be super fun. I'm gonna try to get more words. Got another word. Yay. Sorry for the buzzing sound that you probably heard. Okay, no, it's fine. You don't have to try it. Oh no, you don't need an app. It's not an app, it's just a website. Yeah, I wouldn't have downloaded an app for it either. In fact, if I were using an app, it would mess up my tracking right now, so... Yeah, I just pulled it up on my computer. Maybe you need to learn telepathy though. That would make things so much easier, wouldn't it? Then you would know what the inside joke is, and you wouldn't have to play a fun game to find out. I guess it's probably only fun if you like know English. Probably wouldn't be too fun otherwise. I think that would be not fun at all. Unless you're learning, in which case that would be kind of cool too. Especially since the words are all like 5 letters. It'd be really fun, I think. But well, yeah, just read Kepler's mind. You can do it. Come on, I believe in you. Just go. Mind reading powers. Okay, well, honestly, as much fun as I'm having, which is quite a bit, if I keep letting it run, y'all are going to be seeing nothing on the screen, and I'm going to feel a little bad. So I think that's probably it for today. So the idea is that this screen is going to have this as it zooms out. It's part of the video. I think it's going to look pretty okay. And then this one's just for fun. Yeah, self-indulgent piece. I like it. I think the highlights look really cool. I just wanted to show the adjustments I made in the shading. I also changed some of the shading around like the edges of things to make the colors a little brighter. Added a little bit of color bleed, so there's like a little more red here, and a little more peach here. The likes, it was fun. It was really fun, and I like it a lot. Yeah, well, I guess that's it. Good night. Well, if you play Wordle, you'll understand the inside joke, but if you don't, that's okay too. Have a good night, guys.